Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Instead of a vlog today, I thought we could sit down and chat about my absolute favorite products that I tried in 2021 that are under $10. So as we all know, drugstore makeup has definitely gotten so much better, but at the same time, it's gotten a lot more expensive. But as I started going back over my purchases in 2021, I realized there were actually so many things that were under $10 that I could make an entire video about it, which really surprised me. So a lot of these products I've just kind of been using all along. Other ones I completely forgot about, and I'm so happy to just see them again and revisit them and start using them. So I thought we could talk about these in the order in which they were released rather than talking about them in categories. So let's go back to January when the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator was released. I was actually not really expecting to like this. I assumed it was just going to be your run-of-the-mill tinted moisturizer, which normally doesn't have quite enough coverage for me. But this is like the best of both worlds. It feels like a tinted moisturizer on your skin. It lays so nicely. I have very dry skin and I'm 44, so a lot of foundations tend to settle or accentuate in my fine lines and wrinkles, or they just look too heavy and too makeup-y. And this just has such amazing coverage and at the same time feels like you're putting on a moisturizer. And it also is really long lasting on your skin as well. And it's such an amazing, affordable deal. This was definitely a great way to kick off 2021. The only complaint I have about this is that I got the wrong shade. The shade is very dark for me. It's actually the light shade, but I didn't want it to go to waste, so I've just been making it work, and it is a pretty small tube, so I feel like I'm gonna run out of it pretty quickly at this point. And then in February, a very similar product launched from Joa Beauty. This is their Perfect Complexion BB Cream, and it claims to have medium coverage, silky smooth formula for healthy, beautiful looking skin. This one is made in Korea like all of Joa's products, and I really do not see much difference, if at all, between these two, other than the fact that I picked up the wrong shade in this one as well. I got the shade Vanilla, and again, it is definitely too dark for me, but I wore it a lot in the summer when I did have a little bit more color to my face, and it worked out just fine. It's not the end of the world, especially if I just blend it down my neck. I'm actually wearing this in today's video, and it's just such a wonderful formula. So again, I couldn't honestly tell you the difference between these. They feel the same, they look the same on your skin. I would say just go with the one you can either get the best deal on or find the best shade match for you. Next up in March, there were a couple of things that I tried that I just was really excited about and were all under $10. So the first one is the Essence Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation. So again, just like the previous two I talked about, this is just really similar. It feels like a tinted moisturizer with, I would say, a medium coverage. It has a really beautiful satiny skin-like finish that's almost bordering on dewy, but it definitely dries down enough to where it doesn't look shiny on your face. It just really looks so much like these two right here, and Essence has a great shade range in this too. So I feel like out of the three, this one might be the easiest one to find a shade match in. I also was able to dupe the Urban Decay Hydromaniac foundation with this one because they are almost identical when you're putting them on your face, and I feel like these are pretty close to that one as well. So this was another great find. I feel like it was sort of the year of the medium coverage tinted moisturizer. I also tried some things from Moira Beauty back in March, and this was my first time ever trying the brand, and I just fell in love with them. They have such great prices, and they are constantly releasing new things, so you never get bored. But the first thing that I tried was their signature Ombre blushes. These have a beautiful pattern stamped into them. They also have like a gradient effect, so they start kind of light and then go down to a deeper shade. I just kind of swirl my brush in there and mix them all together. The pigmentation on these is incredible, so you only need a tiny little bit, and they just feel so soft and velvety, and they blend out beautifully on your cheeks. So these were such a pretty addition to my makeup collection this year. Also from Moira, I tried out their Lucent Cream Shadows. These are very similar to Colourpop Super Shock in the way that they feel. They're not overly wet. They're almost sort of like a putty or a mousse. They're a little bit of a drier cream formula, so they're very easy to work with because they dry down to a powdery finish right away. So that's one thing I love about about them. The other is just that they come in so many stunning colors, and I love these for more of a one and done eyeshadow look that really makes an impact. Another one and done single eyeshadow that I found in March, I got these on Yes Style, are these Mikko Dazzling Light Eyeshadow Mousses. So these actually remind me packaging wise and formula wise of the Hourglass Scattered Light shadows. Like I said, the packaging looks the same and they have the same kind of finish on your eyes. They have a little bit of glitter, but they're not big and chunky. It's more of a refined sort of grown-up glitter. So if you want a beautiful one and done shadow, or just to top your existing eyeshadow with one of these and just kind of pat it on your lid for an extra pop, these are beautiful. And honestly, it makes me regret spending so much on the Hourglass ones because I feel like I have the same thing right here. And then in May, Colourpop started releasing their little quads, and I am so happy that they started doing this. I mean, I love Colourpop's larger palettes, don't get me wrong, but I also love quads, and they released these just in time for the summer when people are traveling, and it's just a great way to carry some eyeshadows with you on vacation. The packaging they come in is really nice and sturdy, and the 4 colors that they give you are just beautiful. And I almost thought these had a better formula than Colourpop's larger palettes. I don't know if it was just in my head, but I have heard other people say the same thing, so I don't think I'm crazy with that. But I feel like especially when it came to the matte shades, these were just on another level of pigmented and just so soft. They had a really nice velvet texture. So I've been kind of collecting these since May because they've come out with many, many different ones over the last several months. And I just really enjoy them. Even when I'm not traveling, I use them sometimes just if I don't really fit. They're all coordinated for you already. They kind of do the work for you. Everything goes together. So they're great for that as well. And then in June, one product that really stood out to me was the Essence What the Fake Plumping Lip Filler. So unlike those lip plumpers that sting and burn your lips, this one doesn't do that. It plumps with hyaluronic acid, so it's definitely more gentle, but I found that this just kind of smooths out your lips more than actually plumping them. Similar to the Maybelline Lip Glosses, but I like that this comes in a clear shade because I wear this a lot underneath other lipsticks. Like today, for example, I put this on first and then I used a lip liner that I'm going to talk about, and it just gives your lips some hydration and also just kind of makes them look a little bit smoother. So I've really been loving this because I do struggle with my lip lines and I always want my lips to look smoother, and I think this really does that well. And then in July, we got new shades of the Maybelline Lip Glosses. So even though these were not a new product for 2021, these colors were new, and I was just so excited to see them come out with these because this is my favorite lip formula of all time. Like right now, these are the ones that I reach for the most. And I believe they even came out with new colors just recently. I haven't gotten my hands on those yet, but I definitely will as soon as I see them. Similar to the Essence What the Fake, these just have such a smoothing effect on your lips, but they add a little bit of color as well. And they just feel so hydrating for a lip gloss. They're not sticky and they have a really nice scent to them as well. It's like a vanilla cupcake. So I definitely had to mention these in this video. Next up in August, I have a couple things that launched. The first one is the Catrice 5 in a Box palettes. So I had been waiting for these to launch in the United States for so long. They came out in Europe, I don't know, maybe last year, and everybody was comparing them to the Natasha Denona 5-pan palettes, and I ended up filming a video doing the exact same thing. And while I don't think these are dupes, I don't feel like they're quite as pigmented as Natasha Denona. I actually like these better because I do struggle with Natasha's formula being too pigmented and just not being the best blender. I felt like these were so much easier to work with, but yet you can build them up to whatever pigmentation you want. I feel like the matte shades were really nice and soft. The shimmer shades were creamy. They had that buttery feel and were nicely pigmented as well. So I think these are an awesome eyeshadow palette for under $10. You really can't go wrong with them. They came in beautiful colorways as well. So I was definitely impressed with these. The only thing is you can't get Catrice at Ulta anymore, which is a little bit disappointing. You do have to order from their website, but at least they are still giving us that option here in the US, so that's a good thing at least. Also in August, Flower Beauty released 2 new shades shades of their blush bombs, which I have honestly been waiting for a long time. This is another formula that I really love. And of course the formula is not new, but these two colors, Spiced and Cheeky, were just so perfect heading into the fall season. Spiced was this beautiful spicy terracotta shade, and then Cheeky was the most gorgeous cool toned mauve shade. I really feel like I don't have a lot of blushes in this color, so I was so excited to see it. I'm actually wearing the Cheeky one today since I have some cool tones going on. But yeah, these are a fantastic formula, and I hope they just continue coming out with a couple different colors every year. And also in August, we got the Essence 6-pan eyeshadow palette. So I feel like the formula of these is even maybe slightly better than the Catrice ones. I know they're sister brands and they released these little palettes at the same time during the summer, but something about these Essence palettes, they're just so fantastic and so incredible. First of all, the colorways that they come in are just beautiful. I loved how they were a little monochromatic, but at the same time, they still included 1 or 2 neutrals in each palette so that you could really do more of a neutral look if you wanted to, or anchor a more colorful look with some neutrals if that's your choice. Personally, I just find them easier to work with that way. And like I said, I just found these to be wonderful. They were actually a bit of a surprise because I haven't normally loved Essence's eyeshadows in the past, but I felt like they really did such a great job with these. Next up in October, there was one product that really stood out to me under 10, and that was the Catrice True Skin High Cover Concealer. So they sent me these in PR, and I really honestly was not expecting to like them because I was not a fan of the True Skin foundation, and I know that's a really unpopular opinion. I know so many people on YouTube absolutely rave about that one, and to be honest with you, when I first applied that foundation, it looks great on my skin. It looks really natural. It has a beautiful satin skin-like finish, but at the same time, incredible coverage. But then I would say after maybe like an hour or so, if I look in the mirror, I can see all my pores. It just tends to settle and it dries out my skin. My skin gets those like dehydration lines in my cheeks. It starts to get flaky. I don't know if I'm just reacting to something in that foundation or if it just really does have some sort of drying ingredient that as I wear it, like the longer I wear it, the worse it looks on me. So I was really bummed because I had such high hopes for that, but that is not the case with this concealer. This concealer is so beautiful. This has been the one that I've been using since October when I got it, and I really haven't reached for many other concealers. I just keep going back to it. It has such amazing coverage, yet it looks really natural underneath my eyes. It doesn't settle into fine lines. It has a really thin, lightweight formula that dries down almost immediately. I feel like you don't even have to set this. It just wears beautifully, and it also is supposed to be waterproof. So it does really last a long time, but again, unlike really long-lasting products, it doesn't look dry. So it's just an all-around fantastic concealer. It also has a beautiful shade range. I have mine in the shade Cool Cashmere, and it really is such a great shade match as well. And then finally in December, I tried quite a few products that I've really been loving under 10. The first one is from Moira again, and this is their Diamond Days liquid eyeshadows. I'm wearing one on my lids today called Air Glow, and these are stunning. At least the 2 shades that I have are holographic. I don't know if all of them are, but they have this really pretty shift to them, and they're not glittery either. They're like a beautiful metallic type finish. And once they set down on your eyes, they don't crease, they don't go anywhere. They're fantastic. The only problem is somebody talked about these on TikTok apparently, or maybe multiple people did, and they're sold out of every single color. So I don't know when they're gonna come back in stock, but when they do, I highly recommend checking these out. These are like the best liquid shadow I have ever tried. I actually signed up for their emails just so that I can be notified when these come back because I want more shades of these. They're amazing. Another product I really loved were these Kosi gradient blushes. So they might look familiar because they look very similar to the Moira ones that I tried earlier in the year. And to be honest with you, the formula, it feels almost exactly the same. It's really hard to tell the difference between the two. Granted, the image that's stamped into the Kosi blush has their elephant logo. It's a little bit different than the Moira one, which had more of a floral pattern. And just like the Moira ones, they're very pigmented, so a little bit goes a very long way, and they have that really rich velvety feel to the powder. And then last but not least, I have 2 lip products from e.l.f. I actually just talked about these in my last video, so I'm sorry to get repetitive. And my last video was sponsored, but this one is not. I actually just truly love these products. So the first product is the Love Triangle Lip Filler Liner. So these have a little triangle shaped head, so you can use the pointy side to line your lips and then use the flat triangular side to fill them in. And I find these to be so much easier to use than a lip liner that has like a sharp point to it, because it's just harder to fill in that way. I like that these are a little bit larger and easier to work with. And the shades that I got are beautiful as well. They also have even more on their website. I'm wearing the mauve one today on top of the Essence What the Fake Plumper, and it's the most perfect color mauve. It actually looks very similar to the Flower Beauty Cheeky Blush, which I'm also wearing today, but it's that same cool toned pink that isn't grayish. And I think that's something that's difficult to find, because I've tried mauve lip liners in the past and they have this funky gray undertone that just makes me look washed out and like I'm sick. So I thought that this was perfect. Honestly, I loved all the colors that I got, and I did a try on in my e.l.f. video from yesterday. So if you missed that one, definitely head over and check it out. The other thing that I had tried from e.l.f. that I was really impressed with are these glossy lip stains. So I tend to stay away from lip stains just because they always feel so super dry on my lips. But these start out like a gloss, and then once the gloss fades away, which it definitely will after like an hour or two, you're left with a stain that really sticks around for a long time. And the one thing that I noticed with these as well is that the stain doesn't wear away unevenly on your lips. Sometimes I've had that where it leaves like a weird ring around your lips and the middle is gone. At least on me, these did not do that at all. They just wore away very evenly and just sort of slowly faded as the day went on. But even hours later, I could still see the color. And these remind me exactly of ones that the Balm used to have. I don't know if they still make them or not, but they had a glossy lip stain as well, and this feels like the identical formula. The only thing I will say about these is that they do seem to deepen a little bit as you wear them. So when you first put them on, they look lighter, and then as the stain sort of develops, they get a little bit darker. So I would order colors that are a little bit lighter than what you think you're gonna wear, and then that way you won't be too surprised. So anyway, guys, that's all I have, but I was just blown away by how many amazing products I found in 2021 that were under $10. If there's anything that you tried under 10 that I didn't feature in today's video, let me know, because I'll definitely want to check it out. And also, if you've tried any of these products and have thoughts on them, I'd love to hear those down below as well. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me today. As always, I appreciate it so much. And if you are new here and you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care. Bye.